Cool.
Oh, hey, here he is.
Oh, I am so sorry. I am late. So sorry.
Well, welcome.
It's okay. We're still here.
Okay, I am glad that you are still here.
Yeah,
You
so
got a couple of us.
yeah.
We were just chit-chatting, talking about different industries and our
So
passions.
I may see your projects.
Yes, but while we're showing you the project, you should probably send out an email telling to the other students to say that you're here now, because I told them that if you came back, you'd email them.
Oh, do you mean I send them an announcement right now?
Either an announcement or email, basically saying that you're back now.
Email. Let me see.
I told them to monitor their emails.
I will not be able to show you my project as my
Just let's finish
my
this email business
teammate.
first.
Okay,
Just
let's
give me
do
a
that.
second. The thing is, I wanna see how could I get the email, people.
Just do a announcement. Tell me the easiest way.
Yes, announcement.
Whether they can get back in, that's a different story. But at least let
Yeah,
them know.
but at least we'll send the announcement.
Yeah.
Would you please read the announcement?
Sure, I'll take a look. Yeah, we can see the announcement, but yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
Okay. Do I need to modify it? Is it clear enough?
It is clear, but with the announcements, it can take up to a day to show up on people's email alerts. So if people are looking through their email, then they may not get it today.
Let me share the screen and we see how we can deal with it.
This is a Canvas thing. It's just a bit of a pain.
If I go to people, I have the emails here. Is there a way to send an email, a group email once?
I don't know. I think there is. I'm not familiar with the back end, so I can't really tell you how. But there probably is. That's something you're probably going to want to ask one of the staff who does that frequently, how to do that.
But for now, let me go to the project 2. And we have up to tomorrow. I extended a little bit more so they can read and get back to me.
That's a good idea.
March 16, 2 more days. Until March 16, 2 more days. Okay, I will stop sharing and we start with whoever is ready.
Okay, I think Eric and I are ready. Eric, can you begin pulling the code up while I grab while I start sharing screen or not sharing screen, sharing the video and showing them.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Eric, you copy?
Yes, I can see it.
Yes, I'm loading Arduino right now. It takes a long
All
time.
right, cool. I'll give him the demonstration first then.
Okay.
Okay. This here is our setup. If you can see my video share.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
So unfortunately, I try to tweak the Zoom video settings as much as I can, but I can't get the contrast super good on this. So you'll have to just take my word for it and look carefully here. But it's
Okay.
gonna be hard to see this.
Okay.
But basically we have an LCD, we have the rotary encoder, we have a servo motor, and we have a laser distance finder, laser distance measurement.
Yeah.
And what this is actually a novel combination lock. So right now it says press button to begin. So we're going to press the button, and it's now going into a blinking cursor. And by moving around the rotary encoder, we can select different parts of this 16x2 array.
Yeah.
And we can, by pressing the button with our hand at various heights above the distance sensor, we can insert a symbol. So for example, this is a 0 symbol.
Yeah.
And if I move it over and put my hand a bit above it, this is an asterisk symbol. And then if I put nothing over it and hit again, it clears it into no symbol. So we have 3 possible states that these 32 characters can be in.
Yeah.
And once we enter the correct combination, the door will open, it will reset. So I'm now going to enter the correct combination, which is currently no symbol, and then we have the medium symbol, so that's asterisk. And then we go over to third position, and we have a close symbol. Then we have no symbol, and close symbol again. Now watch the servo motor. It now opens the latch, and now it resets. So we're now back to the beginning. So we set the combination for no symbol, symbol 1, symbol 2, no symbol, and then symbol 2 again. And this can be set to any combination you want.
Yeah.
So it's 3 to the 32 number of possible combinations.
Yes, and you programmed it according to this number.
Yes, the password is baked into the Arduino program.
Okay.
I can show that code.
Yes.
Would you just hold, please, Eric? Just hold, Jordan, get back.
Yes.
This is a very, very useful, and it will be much more useful if you can let the user select his own password.
Yeah, we could have that pretty easily.
Yes, I believe so. It will be very valuable and applicable. Maybe you can sell it. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And I will
Excellent.
move on to Eric showing you the code in a screen share.
Yes, please.
So here's the code. If you're able to see this, yeah, we are defining all of our constants for our use. Here is where, like you mentioned, we are pre-baking the code, the password into the source code of the program.
Yeah.
So that could be adapted. We have a working array. That is an array that, as the user puts their input using the system, this working array is going to capture that.
Yeah.
We have a lot of different variables for checking the distance sensor, for the LCD, for the array, all of that. Let's see, our setup is pretty straightforward. One thing of note is we are using an interrupt to actually get the input from the rotary encoder. That's the way that we decided to do that. It worked out great for this situation. We go into our main loop, and so the main loop, what we're using is a lot of different functions within this. And so it's calling a lot of functions that we define both for the LCD screen, as well as we have separate functions for gating the input from the user, updating the LCD, checking the passcodes, all of that. So basically it begins with initialization. The LCD is going to inform the user, hey, this is what you're using, what you're doing, use the rotary encoder and press the button to begin. And so we have if statements to determine the cursor position. So that is getting input from the rotary encoder and then updating the LCD screen. And then when the encoder switch is pressed, that is where the symbol that we're calling gaining from the distance sensor. So the get symbol is also calling a function from the distance sensor, like Jordan was showing, where you're dependent on where your hand is at, inputting that to the working array, and then updating the LCD to display that. At the end of the day, if you are successful within putting in the correct password, the array is reset, the servo motor is moved, it's activated to simulate a door opening, a safe opening, whatever the use case scenario is. We're just simulating it with just a servo moving. Again, we have a function for getting the symbol, a function for moving the servo, a function for comparing if the passcode that the user has entered and comparing that to the pre-baked passcode that is in the source code. Quick function for resetting the array. We're doing some translation just to change the symbol that is displayed on the LCD. And then this last one is the utilizing the rotary encoder. We had to build in time delays, because as the rotary encoder is moved, it's constantly updating. And so we built in some time delays and time gates. So we only get the amount of inputs that we want from it. And then on the LCD, as the user is rotating the rotary encoder, it locks itself at 0 or 31, the max of the LCD screen.
How do you implement the debounce?
With those delays.
By the delays. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we're just locking it down to, hey, you can only get an input if it has been a predetermined amount of time.
Yeah.
This one was really interesting. We did a lot of our research and development on this particular function, where we think it's actually pretty, really cool how we do it.
The good thing about this is you are implementing many of the tools that we learned in this class. That's very good. Thank you.
That was the objective. Yeah.
Thank you.
Arturo?
Yeah. Oh, well, my teammate already left. We were waiting
no
for a while. He had we already submitted the video with all the programming and all the comments, so you can see what we're doing. So we're just using a
Could you show your code?
Yeah, let me show it. Yeah, let me get it. Let me where'd it go?
Arthur, was that the one with the moving the wall, or which one was that?
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it's really cool. They did a short video demo before you got here.
Yeah, we did do a demo for everybody that was here when they were here.
It was really cool. You'll like it.
Right. So what we're doing is pretty much we made a wall out of a bunch of Legos. So we're using a stepper motor, the liquid crystal screen, and the keypad. So what we're doing is we are putting that information on the keypad. We're doing from 0 to 38 centimeters, from 2 to 38 centimeters, and we're inputting numbers on the keypad, and then the LCD screen is asking, okay, what distance do you want. So you input a number, let's say you input 10, and then it's gonna print, okay, you put 10 in here, and then we have a servo motor with a couple of belts that is moving some sort of a vehicle that we've built with a wall that is moving front, forward, or back, depending on the distance. And then
Yeah.
the sensor is measuring how far away it is, and it's telling you how far to go depending on what you're entering. So it's constantly reading, and everything that you're inputting is being printed on the LCD screen. So we're doing the stepper motor, the liquid crystal, LCD screen, and the keypad. So this is the that we're using for the rows, for the columns. And this is the steps of revolution for the stepper motor. And these are all the pinouts for the LCD screen. And we're using the ultrasonic sensor. So we're using pin 5 and 4. And this is the variable we're using for distance and duration. And these are the pins that we're using for the stepper motor. So this is what we're using as rows and columns for our LCD screen.
Yeah.
And these are the pins. So here we're putting as an output our trig pin and input for our eco pin. We're doing 9600 like we always been doing. And we're initializing 16.2 for the LCD screen. And we're just doing about a second, make sure everything is set. So here, the first thing we do on the void loop, we're setting up to 0, 0, right?
Yes.
Column 0, line 0. And then we're waiting for 2 inputs or 2 digits, right? So then we're gonna print the current and the distance, and then we're gonna print a clear line. So just give it a space. And these are we're using the numbers for a starting digit, the first digit or the second digit. And this is gonna be the count, depending on how many, it's counting when you enter the first digit and the second digit.
Okay.
So here we're doing, so if we get less than 2, so we're not gonna do anything unless we get less than 2 digits, right? So we're gonna read the key, get key, and then we're gonna, if you don't get a key, then we're gonna read between 0 to 9, because that's sort of the digits on our keypad. And then if it's equal to 0, then we're gonna start counting. Okay, this is the first where we're gonna store the first digit, and then we're gonna print the first digit, and then this is where we're gonna save the second digit, and we're gonna print it. And this is gonna be how we're gonna add the numbers together and put them in place. And this is gonna be the distance, where we have the distance. We're gonna set it to 0, 0, and then okay, once we put the 2 digits, okay, you desired, let's say 10 centimeters, and then we're gonna print it here, and then we're gonna print the distance, and then we're gonna start activating the sensor, right? We're gonna trigger it low, then 10 milliseconds, then high. We're gonna start sending the echo pin back and forth, and this is the calculation for the distance in centimeters. We're gonna wait for 100 centimeters. We're gonna send it again. We're gonna do it in 2 readings at a time to make sure we get the average out of that. And this is gonna be our average right here. And then we're gonna print it on the screen, and we're gonna send what's the current that you're asking, and then it's gonna print the current that we're gonna go to. And then this is how we're gonna check the distance on the motor. So then we're getting the distance and the value of the distance. And that's the speed. And then depending on what the distance that we're giving, that's what the motor is going to do. It's going to move, and it's going to give us a 1 second delay to make sure it sets up and does everything. And then here, pretty much we're just going to repeat it all over again, for that, because we're going to do 2 separate readings to make sure we get an average and we get to the correct position. And then at the end, the only thing we're going to do here is if the distance is less than 3 centimeters, we're gonna print an error, because anything less than 3 is we don't read it anymore, and anything above 37 we can't read it anymore either. So then we're gonna print an error, and then we're just gonna keep on printing. But yeah, he had the whole setup. We have the video, and he already uploaded online.
How accurate is your measurement? How accurate is your measurement?
It's 1 centimeter off, give or take, depending on the two, because if you put 9, sometimes between like 8.5 and 9.5, so it's about 1 centimeter off, which is
Yeah.
not too bad. And sometimes the motor
And
gets a little bit
this
stuck.
this
but
1
because-
centimeter, regardless of the distance, for example, if I have 5, will I still have 1 centimeter off?
Not well, I can see that it happens because the we have to see the video, but we have a motor and we have a couple of bands that
Yeah.
moves the wall either forward or backwards.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets stuck a little bit, and that's where it affects the measurement, because
Okay.
it moves like a little band to move it forward and back. And sometimes it gets stuck, and that's when we get the centimeter off, because we have to kind of like touch it and move it a little bit, because sometimes it gets stuck, it doesn't move.
Yeah.
And the batteries drain right away, so we gotta put new batteries, and we gotta make sure they're
yes.
fresh batteries. So yeah, that's what we saw that the differences are in the batteries and the motor getting stuck. But
Yeah.
the measurements are fine. It's just we noticed that like sometimes you gotta, like, the motor doesn't move, you gotta touch it or move it a little bit or push it, and then it just starts turning. And then usually when that happens is because the batteries are a little bit low. So we
Yeah.
gotta put fresh batteries on it, you know, because you gotta use it on an external source to run the stepper motor.
Really a great idea. I like it so much. Thank you. Thank
Good,
you.
thank you. And one thing though, I was gonna mention on topic 8,
Yes.
I was talking to Jordan and Erica. I didn't have, or I don't have the MATLAB to download in my laptop. I went to use the online version, and the
Yes.
online version doesn't recognize my COM inputs. And
Oh.
Jordan was telling me that the only way you can get it is if you get the latest update for the MATLAB, right, Jordan? Is that what you said, right?
Yeah, you have to have a local version, not the online version, and it has to be newer than version 2019.
And what is it difficult to get this version?
You just gotta
No.
pay for it.
No, it's expensive. It's like 60
Expensive.
bucks. It's like 60
Is
bucks
it
per
for free?
student.
I thought that OIT paid for all the students to use
They
MATLAB.
have a
That-
online version, but the online version only can connect to the server's COM ports, not the user's COM ports.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah, I looked into it. It was $60 to download it, and just for one exercise.
No.
Yeah.
Just put a note for me, please.
Okay, so that's what I was
When
gonna
you
ask you.
submit,
That
just
that would
leave
be
me a
like,
note.
yeah, either extra credit or just don't do it, because yeah, I was thinking I would look at it and it's like, oh, $60 to download. It's like, oh, I don't know, for one exercise, right? This is the last of the term, so I don't know if it's worth it.
No. Meanwhile, if you stop by OIT, the campus, try it. If not, just leave me a note.
Okay.
yeah, I believe the campus computers do have MATLAB on them.
They should. Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of out of my way, and yeah, but I don't think I'll be able to. But I will
But
try.
anyway,
But
I
don't
said
think I'll be able
just leave me a note.
Yeah, I'll leave it. No, okay, I'll send you a note. Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, guys. I do appreciate it. And one more time, please accept my sincere apology for arriving late. And I wish you all the best. And I hope that we meet again. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Yes,
Would
sir.
you please, if you may remember to make the class evaluation, I would appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All right,
everyone.
guys. Have a good
Bye-bye.
one. We'll see you guys
You too.
around.
All right, bye.
All right. Take care. Bye.